Hi everybody, it's David Marsh here. I'm the payments SME for Endava based out of Sydney. I'm here with Adrian Bugyan in Singapore and Lucas Selleck based out of Dubai. And today we're going to talk about scams. Now, scams are different from fraud in that they are a payment which the actual consumer has actually authorized as opposed to a bad actor has stolen their credit card. Some interesting statistics that came out this week from the Global Coalition for Fighting Financial Crime showed that Australia has actually seen a decrease in scams recently. So still at $2.03 billion. So still a significant problem in Australia, but it's actually a 26% decline in scams in Australia. Meanwhile, in Singapore, they've actually seen a 70% increase up to $1.1 billion. Adrian, you're based in Singapore. I wonder if you could provide us some insights in what you think's happening there.
So we see the same volume of phone scam calls. I can say just from my example, as we were preparing for this call, I got a suspicious call, which is usually trigger for a scam. But the thing that we see on the rise, because of the increase of e-com, the sellers, the merchants transition to electronic management, and there's an increase in phishing, sophisticated phishing, that either they impersonate the other retailer that transfers them some goods, or somebody collecting the payment, and they get an invoice that needs to be paid, and they usually cannot check, or they don't go through all the hoops to check if that's the right invoice or that's the right receiver. We're talking about small and medium businesses, and this is where a good increase in scams is. The other one is obviously AI-aided scams, right? They can scan your social media, they can impersonate some of the people that you know, and that is on the rise.
Okay, obviously technology is enabling scammers in new ways, and obviously that requires, I guess, a different way of thinking when it comes to defending yourself. Interested in Luca, from your perspective, in terms of scams. Unfortunately, there's no statistics in the Global Coalition's figures from Dubai, but what's happening there in Dubai where you are?
I think, globally the trends are similar, from Australia to US, and then the region is not excluded from that. I think what we are witnessing now is the undesired consequences of, seamless payments journeys that we are creating. And I'm in this, for this, I mean, the usage of payment links. This facilitates, the bad actors actually to request the money from the users, either by, payment links or, the OTPs. And so by desire of payment industry to actually create these seamless journeys and easy to use for the consumers, we are also allowing the bad actors, we are lowering the barriers for the bad actors to actually exploit these journeys. So in that way, I think we need to, when we are talking about anti-fraud system, we need to step out the standard payment system domain. So we have a monolith running somewhere, will feed by data from different areas, and it will make some risk rules and risk analysis. I think we need to start to, we need to engage the AI to process, public space data on a large scale that previously would be, unfeasible or financially, untenable, to actually combine this and enhance these anti-fraud systems with actually the public space relevant information. And as well, we need to give more information to the users on the authorization points. So we need to raise the awareness and raise some potential false positive matches to the user to actually give him a hint. Are you really sure you want to authorize these payments? It's very similar to something else. So we are now witnessing, that these anti-fraud tools, they're not unicorns, and we should not act like they're unicorns. We should have a more holistic approach to fraud and scams in payments, and think, both in public and payment domain.
Absolutely. I've certainly seen, I guess, those two aspects here locally in Australia. The first one being around education. So Australia stood up the Anti-Scam Centre, which is basically looking to help users understand or be aware and alert when scams are happening. The second piece you talked around there, around technology, I'm seeing that here in local bank, where they're starting to do risk assessment on transactions that customers are making and looking for anomalies using their technology like AI. And Endava's obviously at the forefront of some of that technology as well. So I think I can see both those two things playing out here in Australia. In Singapore, Adrian, do you think banks are starting to implement advanced analytics on outgoing payments to try and highlight scams and pick them up before they happen?
We know that some of the banks started implementing some behavioral data to see if the transaction falls outside of some normal limits, some normal frequencies that people would do. As we discussed about a year ago, I think we did a webinar and an article about the impact of AI. The behavioral analytics and implementing those behavioral analytics into each individual will be one of the answers to prevent this authorized payment scams.
Okay, well, it was great talking, guys. Great insights, and see you next time.